So, FNaF again. I know I've been talking about FNaF a little bit recently, and since my last video did incredibly well, I thought it'd be best for me to talk about FNaF one more time. And hey, at least this is not a game I dislike. In fact, I really enjoy this. I should probably go over the development of this before I talk about the actual game. On January 23rd, 2024, the game was accidentally leaked by Scholastic. It was discovered that the game had a website, which featured multiple screenshots and a trailer. On January 25th, 2024, the game was officially announced by Megacat Studios on X/Twitter. On February 19th, 2024, a thumbnail for Into the Pit was added under the Spotlight section of Megacat Studios' homepage. On April 1st, 2024, Megacat made an April Fool's video stating that they were becoming a pizza business, while an in-game picture of Into the Pit briefly flashed on the screen. On June 5th, 2024, Megacat announced that Into the Pit will be officially showcased at the Gorilla Collective 2024 showcase on June 6, 2024. On June 6, 2024, the first official Into the Pit trailer was revealed on the Gorilla Collective's 2024 showcase. A Steam page for the game, as well as an official Jeff's Pizza website and the sub-page on Megacat's website were also unveiled. After being closed for updates, the Jeff's Pizza website was set to open on June 12th. However, the website was overwhelmed with traffic and the release of the website was delayed to an unknown date. As of August, the website is still closed. On August 7th, 2024, Into the Pit was actually released early in Japan. To compensate, Scott Games announced that the game will be releasing early for everyone else later in the day at an unknown time. On August 8th, 2024, the game's beta branch was updated to version 1.0.1.0. On August 9th, 2024, the game's beta branch had updated to versions 1.0.2.0 and later 1.0.3.0. Alright, on with the story. But I'm just gonna add this in now. The story's kinda same with it's the same with the books, so nothing really too different, but still quite interesting. Anyways, enjoy. This takes place just before school starts and summer vacation's about to end. In the beginning, we see a kid named Oswald drawing some familiar looking characters. Maybe in this universe, these are kind of like his OC's characters? I don't know. Then a scene plays out where his dad is driving him. This game takes place in a small suburban town that's been dying for years. And the dad recently had lost his job at the mill since the mill had recently closed. Meaning that the family is suffering financially and there's really nothing they could really do about it besides, getting another job. But unfortunately, they can't really leave or find another job somewhere else since they have to take care of their old grandma. The father ends up dropping off Oswald at a rundown pizzeria called Jeff's Pizza. But unfortunately, this is the only thing that the father can afford since, well, like I've mentioned before, he's suffering financially. The father talks to himself how much of a failure he is that he can only afford pizza for his son and not even make him happy. The scene changes to Oswald finishing his pizza and waiting for his father. But except he's late again. While this was happening, he overheard a family talk about an old ball pit that was here at the pizzeria, but was closed due to an incident and poor hygiene. I mean, we could kind of get the hygiene part since the person literally said they got ringworm from it. Ew. Despite that, Oswald decides to go ahead and try to find it, and well, he ends up finding it, of course. He then decides he wants to play a prank on his father for being late and also putting his health at risk. He then jumps in. But then as soon as he gets out, something's off. Everything is very off. All of a sudden, everything's all lively. There's a bunch of kids everywhere. Everyone's having fun. The place looks brand new. Oswald is freaking out on how everything looks so different. Oswald walks out to see that there are 3 animatronics on the stage. Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica. As it turns out, Jeff's Pizza was originally Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. While we're wandering around, we find 2 kids, Chip and Mike. Immediately, Oswald becomes their friend. They play a couple games, such as skee ball and tag, but then one goes a bit too far, hide and seek. Oswald runs to find a place to hide and finds an old Freddy suit, and he hides in it. Meanwhile, Chip is running, trying to find a spot, and then finds a vent and hides in there. Mike finds them easily and they both go to find Oswald. But except, someone else walks in. After witnessing something trying to see if anything was in the suit, Oswald gets scared, and he immediately tries to find everyone else. But when he walks out, no one's in the arcade anymore. But in the other room, he hears all the kids screaming. The goal is changed. Find the ball pit again and get out. But except Oswald doesn't remember where the ball pit was and accidentally goes through a room, coming face to face with the yellow rabbit. Instead of attacking Oswald, it gestures to him, kind of giving him a sign to follow him. Not knowing what to do and no other choice to do, he follows him into a room. And that's when things change. In the room are 5 dead kids, and the rabbit is just standing there. Oswald was going to be the 6th one. The rabbit immediately lunges towards him, intent of killing him, but Oswald dodges it and immediately makes a run for it, finding the ball pit again and not hesitating to jump in. Coming back out, he sees Jeff's pizza again, but on the way out, he sees Jeff and his dad. Jeff walks off, and the dad immediately runs to Oswald, worried, telling him why he hasn't answered his calls at all, when suddenly out of nowhere, the yellow rabbit has got him. Oswald, fearing for his dad's life, immediately hops into the ball pit to try finding him, but then he does. But except, his father looks a bit off. He has glowing blue eyes. But then for a second, he realizes that's not his father at all. It's the yellow rabbit, trying to be him. The father quickly grabs his son and walks out of Jeff's Pizza into the car. Oswald, fearing for his life, is wondering where the rabbit is taking him. And the rabbit took him to his house, his home. Oswald, wondering why he knows where he lives, he tries to make a run for it, but then trips. The rabbit doesn't attack him, but just pulls him back up and just brings him inside the house. He's just standing there, not doing anything. Oswald tells it that he's going to go to his room, and he's just still standing there. Oswald does go to his room, but he has to think of something. Then he remembers that his father has his phone, and it's on the nightstand. So he tries to go to it, but the rabbit is just sleeping. Very menacingly though. Oswald caused some noise, and then when the rabbit goes to check the noise, he sneaks into the room, and then he grabs the phone, and proceeds to call his mom. Which, by the way, I shall add, the mother works at a hospital, so means she's not home all the time. Oswald, calling his mother, immediately tells her to get here now and that it's an emergency. When she does arrive though, Oswald immediately tells her that the father looks off. But except, she doesn't see that. She doesn't see the yellow rabbit. She sees the father is fine. She immediately writes this off as a prank and tells him to go to his room since school is beginning to start up tomorrow. He does, and then he wakes up. His mother is there, cooking him breakfast, and tells him that to go to the dining room and that his father is waiting. Also, believing that it was all a dream, goes to the dining room, but then he gets meted by not his father, but the yellow rabbit. Oswald dismisses himself from breakfast and tells the mother that he's gonna get ready for school, grabs his lunch, and heads to school. It's the first day of 6th grade. It's like any other school day. Doing assignments, going onto the playground, doing assignments again, and then coming back home with homework to do. Except something interesting happens at the playground. Someone has a firecracker, it lights it, and as soon as it explodes, everyone immediately runs inside. Oswald then ends up finding the kid who has the firecracker, asking if he could buy any, and the kid offers a trade near the library near the end of the week. Oswald then goes back to Jeff's Pizza, to the ball pit, and then goes back into Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. And he has a new objective. Find his father and get him out. He walks into the dining area and then immediately sees a kid trapped in an endoskeleton. The kid is crying and begging for Oswald to get him out of the endoskeleton. Oswald assures him that he'll get him out if he finds something. Then Oswald finds a screwdriver nearby, uses it, and gets the kid out of the endoskeleton and assures him to run out of the pizzeria now. Right as he says this, the yellow rabbit barges through a door and immediately chases Oswald. Oswald finds the ball pit and jumps right in. Not a very successful first day, but he knows he's getting close to finding his father. Day 2. After a long day of school, he goes to Jeff's Pizza and jumps into the ball pit, going to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza again. He doesn't find his father this time, but instead finds a kid that he remembers, Mike. when he saves Mike, and when he walks out, Chica immediately encounters him and tries to attack him, but luckily, Oswald didn't eat his lunch that day, and Chica notices that, and then she eats the lunch. Oswald, at the right time, decides to make a run for it to the ball pit and escapes. Day 3. After another long day of school, he decides to go into the ball pit again, but except this time, encountering a new character, Bonnie. He then lures Bonnie away from somewhere by using his guitar. And when he goes to the arcade, he finds another familiar face, Chip. But sadly, he still hasn't found his father. And while he was walking out, Freddy decides to make an entrance. Now with 4 mascots to deal with, Oswald decides for the best to go back to the ball pit and go home. Day 4. While at school, Oswald gets picked on for something. Oswald then starts hallucinating that the animatronics are making fun of him and the classmates are turning into endoskeletons. In self-defense, he immediately knocks over one of the animatronics and forgets that it was the bully. Oswald then runs to Jeff's Pizza, decides to jump into the ball pit to see if there's anyone else. He then finds a girl in a security room, hunched over, absolutely fearing that anyone was going to come by and hurt her. Oswald luckily finds her and tells her to run, but when he looks on the cameras, he finds her being taken away by the yellow rabbit. The yellow rabbit puts her in a freezer in the kitchen, while Oswald finds a hammer near the arcade. He uses the hammer to bash open the freezer, but except he made too much noise. The yellow rabbit finds him and tries to choke him out, but except he manages to get out of it and runs to the ball pit. Day 5. After dreaming of being at school and everyone turning into animatronics, he wakes up and decides to try to end all of this by going to Jeff's Pizza and going into the ball pit. He then finds a trapped girl in a locked room. She then tells Oswald that she heard mumbling through the vents. Oswald then goes through the vent and finds his father unconscious. He's tied up in the chair and Oswald immediately tries to untie him, but hears someone coming. So he hides in the vent and the yellow rabbit comes in. Instead of trying to find Oswald, he just takes the dad. When Oswald follows them, and he finds the yellow rabbit choking out his dad and throws him into the ball pit. The yellow rabbit immediately tries to attack Oswald, but Oswald hits him with a right hook, making him immediately tumble down to the floor. Oswald immediately grabbing his dad and pushing him into the ball pit, they make it back to Jeff's Pizza. But the yellow rabbit isn't done yet. He jumps out and bites Oswald's arm. Then Oswald hits him with a left and right hook, causing him to stumble back and get caught on the ball net. Suddenly, the yellow rabbit is being choked, sort of getting hanged a little bit. The yellow rabbit gestures to Oswald to help him, but Oswald has an actual brainstem and actually doesn't help him. The yellow rabbit then suffocates and then dies. The father awakes and he doesn't know what happened. Oswald then tells him that he just blacked out after tripping on a ball pit ball. Oswald then tells his father why he pulled the prank and why he's so sorry about it. The father then forgives him and they walk out of Jeff's Pizza. The father then promises Oswald that they will move somewhere else and they'll take Grandma with them, even if they need special transport. The father promises Oswald for a better life and they'll find one. Then Oswald tells him that he might get suspended from school. The end. See guys, I don't entirely hate FNaF. Also, by the way, just letting you guys know, if you're wondering why the story seems a bit kinda off, it's because I've left pieces out of the story that doesn't really actually mean anything. But if I did include those pieces in the story, we probably would have already reached the 30-minute mark. And I'm only saying probably. But other than that, let's go over some Easter eggs, secret endings, and side quests. Easter eggs. Did you know when you get the phone and you put in 777-4648, you get to call William Afton while he's being spring locked? So yes, now we have the official sound of William Afton being spring locked. And there's another secret with the phone. If you put in 5555683, you unlock a minigame with Eleanor in it. All you do is just put pieces of a human together, and then the ending is actually just the person falling apart. And another secret with the phone. If you type in 911, you get told that authorities aren't available due to low budget. Damn, I didn't even know this town was that dead. They don't even have authorities. Did you know if you go into Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and interact with the gumball machine too many times, you unlock a minigame based on Count the Ways? If you interact with the phone in the office, you can actually hear Phone Guy. And I think that's it about the sequel. Wait, I have one more Easter egg. Oh my god, the one time I think we're gonna go a video without you. Also, wait, you have another secret? Yeah, so can I tell them it? You know what? Fine, we can make a use out of you for once. Let's go. Did you know if you go to the arcade and interact with the prices machine, you'll unlock a minigame based on the fetch book? Oh wait, is that actually true? Yeah, 100%. Just look at the background. Oh my god, I actually almost forgot about that. Thank you so much. Yeah, no problem. Make sure to get this guy to like, I don't know, 2,000 subscribers or something. I don't even know anymore. Okay then. Alright, let's go on to the secret endings. If you go into the pizzeria, you could actually just walk out instead of going into the ball pit. This triggers an ending where Oswald actually flees the pizzeria into a new world. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where to go. He plans on starting over and starting a new life. Of course, these endings aren't canon because, the original book ended with, the yellow rabbit getting hanged. Anyways, on to the second ending. This ending only triggers when you find all of the dad's belongings. The ending plays out kind of like normally, but except the yellow rabbit comes by and kidnaps Oswald. It isn't told what happened to him, but if I had to play guesses, he most likely mimicked Oswald and pretended to be him. The third ending. This ending only occurs near the end of the game. Where the yellow rabbit starts choking out the dad. If you don't interact in time, you actually get placed back into the pizzeria. You walk up to the yellow rabbit, and you start questioning who you are. And for a split second, Oswald has blue glowing eyes. On with the fourth ending. This is the good ending. It's actually just, the normal ending, but except it has a post-credit scene. It shows Jeff going into the ball pit room and discovering the yellow rabbit. But then, the yellow rabbit attacks him. The fifth ending. Oh yeah, remember when I said that these endings aren't canon? Well, forget I said that because this is the only one that's canon. It's literally, again, the normal ending, but except with a post-credits scene. It shows Oswald's family at Jeff's Pizza enjoying some delicious pizza. Alright, now on to the side quests. Actually, change that to side quests, since this is kind of the only side quest there is. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, and I shall add now, the Firecracker Kid is not a side quest. It's actually part of the main game. You trade something with them, and then you just throw it at Freddy to, distract them to get the girl. So, sorry about that. Throughout the game, you could actually get pieces of arcade machines. If you go into Jeff's Pizza and you actually go into the old arcade, you could actually fix them up and play other arcade machines. And, a familiar face is here, but we don't talk about him. But yeah, that kind of sums up the side quests. Alright, let's wrap this up. Into the Pit is both a good game and also a good story. If you're thinking of playing it, I highly recommend it. I'll link the game down in the description. And that's kind of all from me today, and I'll catch you guys later. I have been Bowtie, and I'll see you guys next time.